I've been songwriting for so long, since I could write. This was kind of my first experience writing something that I knew would be heard, but I kind of just had to remember that, you have to come from a place of truth and authenticity, and so that's what I tried to do with this song. I play Nini in High School Musical, the series, and she's just like growing up and being a teenage girl and taking her SATs and dealing with boy problems and all of these issues that I'm all too familiar with. I wrote a song on my Instagram like maybe 6 months ago, and I posted it. The Disney Plus executive sent it to our producers and said, we want a ballad for Nini, and we want it to be like this song that Olivia wrote. And so our showrunner was like, well, why would we have somebody else write a song that you want to sound like a Olivia Rodrigo song? So he's just like, let's skip the middleman and have Olivia write it. I wrote this song by myself, which was really cool that they let me do that. I feel like Nini and I share so many experiences that I was kind of just like writing as Olivia and also as Nini, which was really great. It was a great exercise as an actor and a songwriter to get to write this song. Found a guy, told me I was a star. He held the door, held my hand in the dark. And he's perfect on paper, but he's lying to my face. So this first verse is referring to EJ, which is Nini's kind of fling at the time that the song is sung in the series. He's great, and he's like a 4.0 student, and he really believes in Nini, and Nini like really needs that at the time. But she finds out later that she only got a part in a play that they were doing at summer camp because he gave the girl that was supposed to play the part a rotten egg, and Nini was an understudy. And so she kind of found out that she got it because of this weird fraudulent thing that he did, and so she was kind of upset at him, and he also stole her phone, which wasn't good, and so he was kind of being deceitful, and she was noticing that, and so that's kind of where that line comes from. Does he think that I'm the kind of girl who needs to be saved? It was definitely referring to EJ kind of interfering in Nini's career life and her being like, you know what, I didn't need you to do this for me. Like, I can be successful without your intervention. And I think that's something that's like so true for me too. I'm like very stubborn, and I like getting things because I got them off of my own merit, you know? I mean, it's also just kind of a really empowering line. I think it speaks to a lot of different situations. And there's one more boy, he's from my past. We fell in love, but it didn't last. So this verse is referring to Ricky, which is Nini's ex-boyfriend, and they dated for a year, and then she said, I love you to him, and he didn't say it back, and she was heartbroken, and then he broke up with her, not to give away too many spoilers, but she just was always kind of in love with him, but always felt like he wasn't loving her back enough. She felt like it wasn't reciprocated, and so that's where that line comes from. 'Cause the second I figure it out, he pushes me away. And I won't fight for love if you won't meet me halfway. That was the line that I kind of resonated with as Olivia the most. I feel this way in a lot of relationships. I'm like a very loving person, and I love doing things for people and serving them and, giving all of my time and energy and appreciation into one person, and when that's not, given back, it's kind of tough. And I think that's kind of something that we all relate to, even in, non-romantic relationships, and definitely something that Nini was feeling at the time. And I say that I'm through, but this song's still for you. So I say that I'm through, but this song is still for you. I think it's kind of this relatable thing where we all tell our best friends, we're like, I'm done with him, he's terrible, I'm just completely over it, and then you go on Instagram at 2 a.m. and look at all the pictures that you have together. This line especially is just showing how far Nini has to grow. This compared to where she is in the latter episodes, just shows her character arc and her growth as a person. All I want is love that lasts, is all I want, too much to ask. In this, and I think Nini feels the same way. I think I was trying to articulate how I wanted and how she wanted something that, a long-lasting relationship where somebody just respected you and loved you unconditionally. We've all been there. Is it something wrong with me? All I want is a good guy. All my expectations far too high. I was actually talking to my mom about boy problems, and she's like, there's nothing wrong with you. And so that's kind of where it came from. So funny, mom gets a little writer's credit. Sometimes being in love with a person who doesn't love you the same way can feel kind of degrading to you and you're wondering like, oh, maybe if I was like prettier or more interesting or funnier, then they wouldn't act this way. But it's totally not true. It has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. I think Nini still has yet to figure that out. I have really high expectations, as I think we all should have. Set the bar high, ladies and gents and everyone. I think in this song especially, I was just referring to someone who loved you in the same way that you love them. Somebody who's trustworthy and decent and has dignity and does the right thing. Try my best, but what can I say? All I have is myself at the end of the day. And shouldn't that be enough for me? I feel like sometimes I say I'm like super feministy and I'm like, I don't need a man, like this is like, I'm totally fine by myself, but sometimes I don't always feel that way and I know that I should, and I think lots of people feel that way probably, and that's okay. I think Nini is just really working on finding herself and realizing that, you know, she can be self-sufficient and self-reliant, and loving herself is the most important love. And I miss the days when I was young and naive, thought the perfect guy would come and find me. I am very young and still probably very naive, past Olivia thinking about all of these ideal guys that she would find in her life, and not being able to find that guy, and probably past Nini reflecting on all of the people that she's dreamt up in her head and that aren't actually existent in real life. Now happy ever after, it don't come so easily. I think I do still believe in happy ever after. Like I said, I'm still pretty young and naive, but I think that it's definitely attainable, but who knows, maybe it's not with a romantic partner, maybe it's with yourself. All I want is a good guy, all my expectations far too high. Try my best, but what can I say? All I have is myself at the end of the day. And all I want is for that to be okay. In the first chorus, I say, shouldn't that be enough for me? And then in the last chorus, the last line is, all I want is for that to be okay. So all I have is myself at the end of the day. All I want is for that to be okay. I think it's really Nini kind of realizing that how she wants to be this person who's self-confident and self-reliant and really doesn't, you know, need other people's validation to feel whole and to feel good about herself. So I think her coming to that realization at the end of the song is kind of indicative of a kind of larger plot that goes on in the series. Olivia has felt that too, you know, all I want is to feel all right in my own skin and, you know, feel confident enough to then go on and have romantic relationships where I feel good about myself and I don't need anybody else, if that makes sense. All I Want got like really TikTok famous, which is so amazing because I love TikTok and I love mindlessly scrolling through TikTok and finding my song. That's so cool. Sometimes I'll do like cute romantic things, like it'll be like a boyfriend and a girlfriend and they're like doing cute things to All I Want. It's just really a joy to get to see people kind of create with the song that I created, yeah.